Hello to all of you out there in YouTube. Thank you for joining me on this live. Just in case you're coming across me for the first time, I'm Lupita V from Lupita V Coaching, Mental Health Consulting. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, confidence coach, inspirational speaker, and DJ. And I teach people how to get to their happiest place by overcoming some of their biggest insecurities and smashing some of their biggest goals. And if you're interested in working with me individually, reach out to me. I will put a link down below, or hashtag Lupita V Coaching anywhere, and we can get that conversation started. Today, the talk is about, let me make myself a little more comfortable. Give me a second. So today's talk is like what the video is titled, Child Abuse and Molested. And really what I want to focus on is family secrets. And I am gonna talk a little bit about molestation, sexual assault, abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, and domestic violence. And just how the cycle of secrecy perpetuates these things within families. Before I get into that, let me post my link if you're interested in reaching me. I'll put that in the chat right now. And if this is something you can take this as a trigger warning. But if you are triggered and you feel comfortable with sharing that in the chat, please feel free to share that, and I would try my best to help you with emotional stabilization within the chat. So I was asked to do this video a long time ago. And a lot of other things came up. Before I even get into molestation and family secrets, I just want to say that the things that have happened recently with just coronavirus and the Asian community being targeted, that's not recent. Ever since COVID happened, that was something that was happening. A lot of my Asian friends, especially on Facebook, were really open and vocal about that. And what I want to say about that is it's not okay. It is not fucking okay to have any hate toward another person, and especially having to do with something like that. Just, it doesn't make sense. And if you don't agree with me, the chat's right there. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. My heart goes out to everyone and anyone that has experienced any type of hate or that type of undesired energy towards them, especially because of their ethnic or cultural background, the way that they look, the color of their skin. None of that is fucking okay. And I'm here for you and can advocate and help in any way that I can. Please feel free to reach out. I will try to help in any way that I can. So I thought about how I wanted to start this video, and it's So this is why people can't talk about it. This is why it continues to be a secret. Because even I, myself, that is very open and transparent about my trauma and the things that I've been through, even for me, this is difficult for me to maneuver and know how to get into this subject. Yeah. I had a friend recently say, thank you so much for choosing to do this video. And I commend you for being able to talk about these things without crying and without getting really emotional. I can guarantee that I won't cry or get emotional within this video. I already feel it like coming out, but I am not the type of person to not show my emotions or hold anything back. I'm reading in the chat right now, Nesitos, thank you so much. Whoever you are, please send me an email. You're such a great source of support. I really appreciate you. Says Lupita, I'm surprised with the amount of women I've dated that have told me they were molested as a child by family or close friends of family. I felt helpless to help them. Thank you so much for posting that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, because it's a really difficult thing to talk about because it's not something that you talk about. So I was raped around the age of 4 or 5. It has come to my attention that my parents never really knew about this, even though I had communicated it with them. Perhaps in the hustle and bustle of having so many jobs and having to support so many children and so many people living in the house, I can understand how something like that might be difficult to understand or even believe. Now I'm starting to get emotional. But this video it's not about me. It's about the generation after me that has experienced this again. And to be honest with you, I'm really, really, really fucking pissed about it. I got into the mental health field to understand why these things happen, to try to break the cycle. And although my son is only 12, I feel like I really did that with my son. But to know that there are other people in younger generations that this has happened to, it gets me really, really, really fucking pissed. And the reason why this keeps on happening is because we are not talking about it. I found out that this happened to other people in my family and older generations, and it was never addressed. It was never talked about. Growing up, I felt very alone. I felt very isolated. I felt like I was the only one asking for things that didn't make sense to people when I would ask for love or hugs and kisses. And I was called lloretas or pinche chillona or oh my God, yeah, with the emotions and the feelings, and just made to feel like there was something wrong with me because I wanted love, because I wanted hugs, because I wanted to be treated like a precious little girl instead of what I was being treated like. And I didn't know that another reason why I was feeling this way was because of the abuse and the molestation and the emotional and mental abuse that was happening, which is if a child asks you for a hug and you ridicule them, that's mental and emotional abuse. No child should be ridiculed for wanting love. Even adults want love. They're just too fucking prideful and afraid to admit it. So I want to say to all of those adult victims and even child victims that might be watching this right now, you're not alone, and you're so precious, and you're so amazing. And I know I was just crying a little while ago, but that's when I'm thinking about the past and not when I'm in the present moment. And I am so happy. I love myself so much because I didn't let people shut me up, because I have done the inner work on myself, and because I know it wasn't my fault. And guess what? You are so worth it, and you're so capable of getting to this place as well, of loving yourself and not looking at yourself like you're broken or damaged, and thinking that no one will love you. All of that is bullshit. It's bullshit. Of course you're lovable. And just because either another child or an adult put their hands on you and made you feel uncomfortable and took your innocence or made you grow up fast with their words and their lack of emotional affection or physical affection doesn't make you broken or damaged. On the contrary, and I know you hate to hear this. I know you fucking hate it. I know. To hear it made you even stronger. And then you have those moments where like, well, why at times don't I feel stronger? Why do I still feel broken? Why do I still feel damaged? You only feel like that when you go back. If you can bring yourself back to the present moment and look around you, you can see all of the beauty and how life works out for you, and how smart you are, and how you make things work every single time. I want to say this to any parent that's watching or listening, because I'm going to take the audio from this video and edit onto a podcast and make sure that everyone can hear this message as well. Please have the conversation with your children about good touch, bad touch. I know it sounds like it's so cheesy. Like, who talks about that? Like, that's so white, right? But I have been talking to my son ever since he was a baby and he could talk English, speak English, about good touch, bad touch. No one is supposed to touch you, not even mommy or papi. No one in the family, no friends, no teachers. It's okay for you to touch yourself, but you can't touch other people either. And if you're gonna touch yourself, then you do that in your private time, in your own room, or when you're in the shower or anything like that. But no one is supposed to touch you. And you drill them. And I drilled him. I'm not sure if I drilled him every day. I might have. If you ask him, he's gonna be like, yeah, probably like 10 times a day. But is someone supposed to touch you here? No. What happens if they touch you there? What do you say? What if somebody tries to do this to you? What if somebody asks you to touch somebody else? And have this conversation with them. Be open about it. If you start talking about it, then we can stop it from happening. Why are we having these problems with racism and all of these hate crimes that are happening? This isn't new. This isn't new. This has been happening for hundreds of years. Being molested and having these family secrets of secret pregnancy and physical abuse and mental abuse and emotional abuse and sexual abuse. All of this has been happening for such a long time. This isn't new to my family. It's not new to your family. It's not new to anyone's family. This is not something that you're only going to find amongst Latinos either. You not find this in Black African American communities, Asians, whites, Middle Eastern, Indian, anything you can think of, you're going to find the same problem within every community. And why? Because we are choosing to keep it a secret. And no one wants to hold these people accountable because nobody wants to be that responsible one. No one wants to look at you and say they're in jail because of you. No one wants to be that person. But why the fuck not? Why not? And maybe this person learned this behavior at a really early age and they never learned how to stop it. Maybe they need some help. And you bringing this to light will help them get the help that they need. But if you're not talking about it, this doesn't help anyone. And more babies get hurt. It doesn't stop. And it needs to stop. I wanted it to stop with me. And in order for me to make sure that it stopped with me, I made sure that I had that conversation with my son and I made it open. And no one was allowed to touch him or do anything like that. And if he was, he knew that he could come to me because we've been talking about it. But pretending like it never happened doesn't help anyone. It doesn't even help you, because if you know, you are walking around with that secret. And I know you don't feel good about it, even if it didn't happen to you. Like, pretending that it didn't happen doesn't make it go away. If you're a mom and you knew that this happened to your child, pretending like it never happened doesn't make it go away. All you're doing is making your child feel even worse, feel even less worthy. They already feel broken and damaged. And by you hoping and praying that it's going to go away, by ignoring it, doesn't make anything better. We have to start talking about it. these conversations of me talking about this with you openly and being transparent has caused a ripple effect in my family. And the best way I could describe it is someone taking a really, really good whack at a piñata and just like it exploding everywhere. And now it's broken open. There's litter everywhere. And we have to either pick up the pieces or figure out how we can make the best of what has come from this. And having the conversation is the best way to find solutions to allowing people feel better. Imagine going your whole life thinking that people didn't love you. And then one day they come up to you and say, hey, just want to let you know that I care about you. How different would that make you feel? Just having this conversation and not pretending like it didn't happen is so important. And if you're a victim and you're scared of people finding out, or you don't know if you can be that person to start the conversation, how much more pain and hurt do you have to go through in order for you to let this go and start being open about it? Most likely, you weren't the only person that this happened to. And if you opened up about it, the other person or other people will be vocal as well. Have faith in yourself to know that you're worth it. And if you need some help with that, please feel free and reach out to me. I have no problem reminding you how fucking worth it you are. I was hoping that this video wasn't going to be longer than 15 minutes. So I'm just going to stop there. And I really want to pass on this message of openness. And even if you're a family member, if you're a boyfriend, a girlfriend, because here's the thing with this doesn't just happen to women. This doesn't just happen to little girls. It happens to little boys too. And the way that our society is put together, and especially our culture, there's no safe place for boys to express emotions and feelings. And what if you're that girl that was molested and the other one was a boy? You're making it okay to be open about what happened and not feel alone. And I know it's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to do anything. But this is a way for you to make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else, because you know how bad it feels. And if you're an adult survivor, having the conversation makes sure, opens up for this to not happen again. Being open about it makes it okay for other people to be open about it too. And then it doesn't happen again. There's no way that it can happen again, because now everyone knows what to look for. Everyone knows how it started and how it ended, and they can put a stop to it even before it starts, so no one gets hurt. But if we don't talk about it, we're just allowing the cycle to continue. Someone needs to break the cycle. Someone has to be the catalyst. Someone has to be the change. And if not you, then who? Thank you so much to everyone that's watching. If you need help, if you're a victim, if you're a child victim, if you're an adult victim, if you're in your fucking 60s and you're a victim and you don't know what to do with those feelings, you don't know how to get started with the conversation, you don't feel like you have a safe place to go, please reach out to me. I would love to help you or to point you in the right direction to get you started with healing and letting this go so that you don't have to feel broken, damaged, or even responsible for what happened to you, because it wasn't your fault. I really just want to share that you're not damaged, you're not broken, and it wasn't your fault. Today, look in the mirror and say to yourself, it wasn't your fault. And keep saying it until it feels real to you. And those of you who have never experienced this before, but come across people that have, ask questions, and not about the details, but questions like, if someone reveals this to you, say something similar to the extent of, I'm really sorry that this happened to you. No one deserves to have this happen to them. And how can I support you? I'm so sorry that this happened to you. No one deserves for that to happen to them. How can I help? I'm so sorry that this happened. And it's not okay. How can I be a positive contribution to your healing? I'm so sorry that this happened. Have you spoken to anyone else about it? How can I help you? How can I support you more? How can I support you better? Anything like that would be really, really helpful to a survivor or victim that's had this happen to them. Because this is triggering content, I just want to go through a grounding exercise to bring anyone who is a survivor or victim back to the present moment. So I'm going to go ahead and talk myself through the grounding technique, and you can just follow along, or you can just close your eyes and listen, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm going to try my best to not make it too long because this video has already gone long enough. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I really appreciate all of your support. And I'm going to go ahead and start the grounding exercise right now. So I'm going to start with deep breaths, holding in for 3 seconds and then releasing. I'm going to get into a comfortable position and I'm going to just focus on my breath. And when I'm breathing, I'm going to bring the air, instead of focusing into my lungs, I'm going to bring the air into my abdominal area or my stomach, and then release. When I'm bringing it in, I'm breathing in light and I'm releasing this tense feeling, this triggered feeling as I exhale. So I'm going to do that now. So as I breathe in, I'm going to breathe in light. When I exhale, I'm going to exhale the tension and the triggered feelings. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to breathe in. Really allowing my body to relax and let go of any tension, any muscles that are tensed, just letting them go and letting them relax. Breathing in again. One more time in. And relax. Breathing in the light. Oh. Oh man, that's good. Whenever you're yawning, you're really releasing. One more time in. And out. And I hear birds chirping right outside my window. That's helping me stay present in the present moment. I'm not anywhere except here, live on YouTube with you, nowhere else. Practicing mindfulness. Okay. Feel better. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you. Hugs, kisses. And remember, you've always been enough. And you are so, so, so worth it. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, Nasitos. I appreciate that.